Hola, ustedes. Today we're going to be talking about subject pronouns. You're going to be using your little comment box off to the side to type out your comments regarding subject pronouns. Do not worry about accents today. You will see the accents on my screen and I will teach you how to write those in class. But for now, we just want to make sure you understand the information. So starting with the beginning, what are the subject pronouns in Spanish? Now, we've been discussing what they are in English in class, so today I'm going to give you the English equivalent of a subject pronoun, and you're to type out the Spanish subject pronoun translation. So start with número uno, and we have we, all female. Número dos, they, a group of boys and girls. Número tres, she. Número cuatro, I. Número cinco, you all, you guys, familiar, mixed gender, and this is only used in Spain. Número seis, we, a group of boys and girls. Número siete, he. Número ocho, you, familiar, singular. Número nueve, you all, familiar or formal, and it's plural. Número 10, you, formal, singular. Now that you've had a chance to write out all these in Spanish, let's see if you had them correct. Number one, número uno, we, all female, you should have had nosotras. Número dos, ellos. Número tres, ella. Número cuatro, yo. Número cinco, vosotros. Número seis, nosotros. Número siete, él. Número ocho, tú. Número 9, ustedes. Número 10, usted. Now we're going to talk about talking to somebody versus talking about people. In Spanish and English, we address people as you when we talk to them. That's kind of obvious. We understand that. However, when you're really processing these Spanish pronouns, when you really start to process them, I want you to think about whether you're using them to address somebody, as in talking to them, or are you talking about them? In English, that's easy, because we only have one way to say you. So that's easy. We know it's a second person, and so we just have that one word, you. In Spanish, however, you have to consider four things. Are we talking to someone familiar? Are we talking to someone formal? Are we talking to a group of familiar people? Are we talking to a group of formal people? We're going to complete this chart together. And what I'd like you to do is, as I go through there, you type in the comment section which way of saying you in Spanish would you use. So we have four of them. We have tú, vosotros, usted, and ustedes. Which one would you use depends on the situation. So for example, if I was talking to a friend and I wanted to say you, that is considered second person, familiar, and singular. So we would use, did you type in two? If you did, good job. However, what if I was talking to a group of people? And remember, this is only used in Spain. And if I wanted to say you all, these are friends of mine, we're on a familiar basis, what would you say? Did you type in vosotros and vosotras? If you did, good job. Now, let's go the formal route. If I wanted to say you and I was talking to somebody I would address with a title like Mr. or Mrs. or Doctor, how would I say you? Usted. What if I was talking to several people? Now, here's a little bit tricky because in Spain, they use this for only a formal situation. So you're talking to a group of people, it's a formal situation, you're addressing a crowd and you want to be polite and you would use this. However, because they do not use vosotros in Central America or South America, they would use this way of being formal or familiar to everyone if they wanted to say you in a plural sense. If you typed in ustedes, excelente. Couple of points to remember. Notice that these are all different ways to say you. Remember that vosotros, vosotras is only used in España, Spain. And número tres, to say you all, formal or familiar, everywhere else, use ustedes. Now, we talked about addressing someone or saying you to somebody and the 4 different ways to do that. Now let's talk about when we talk about someone. So complete the following chart with ways to talk about someone. So if I wanted to talk about myself and I want to say I, that's first person and it's singular. That would be what in Spanish? Good job if you said yo. What about third person singular and I want to say he? Él, correct. What if I wanted to say she, third person singular as well? That too would be ella. Now let's talk about the plural. If I'm talking about I, someone and I, that's plural, still first person because I is included, but I'm including somebody else, someone and I. What would that be? You got it. Nosotros, nosotras is how we say we. What if I was talking about a third person plural? That means not just he, but he, and maybe she too. That's a lot of people, okay? Or maybe I'm just talking about a couple of people, he and she. That's third person plural. What would I use in Spanish? You got it if you said ellos. How about if I was just talking about 2 or 3, but they were all girls? So like maybe Maria, Paula, Laura, and I wanted to replace their names. What would that be? Excelente if you said ellas. Some other points to remember. Notice that there is no need for familiar or formal here because we are not talking to these people. We're talking about them. Of course, only in a good way. Thank you. Muchas gracias.